Hi guys, so it's beginning to be that time, it's the end of the year and all these new devices are popping up and you guys are probably wondering what device is what's coming out, what should I look forward to, and that's what we're going to be talking about, mostly and only Android devices. So let's jump right into it. First up, the Galaxy Note 2 was released the other day. Yeah, that big ass device that everyone seems to fall in love with. Some people think it's hysterical to look at, some people love it. It's really a love-hate relationship. It is a cool concept, but it is way too big of a phone, or a phablet I should say. So if you're looking for something, you don't want to buy a tablet, you don't want to buy a phone, but you want both at the same time, well there you go. It's a 5.5-inch screen, super AMOLED technology that they use, and it's 1280 by 720, which is pretty standard at this point in time. Samsung is going again with the Note 2. I guess it did well enough where they thought, hey, why not update it? It comes with 2 gigabytes of RAM, 1.6 gigahertz processor, A9, the same one that the S3 is currently using, and it comes out of the box with Jelly Bean. Android 4.1.1. So that's pretty cool. It's if you're into the phablets, it's something to look forward to, and should be released in the US sometime soon. I'm assuming late October. Next up, we have the Galaxy Nexus 2. That's right, the Nexus 2. There's been a lot of rumors, they haven't even released any information about the specs. But I'm just going to speculate here, check back with the first Galaxy Nexus, and I thought, what would they be upgrading? So obviously the processor is going to be upgraded since last year. Last year it was a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz processor. I'm assuming most likely it's going to be a quad-core processor, most likely the A9, which they've been using in most of their devices, so I don't see why they would need to switch. Next up, last year they released it with 1 gigabyte of RAM, and obviously they're probably going to add another gigabyte just to have it a little more up to date. Probably going to have Jelly Bean 4.2. I'll come back to that in a second. I'll tell you why it's 4.2 and not 4.1, where it might actually be 4.1 considering it's most likely going to be released October 29th when Samsung is doing their whole meeting and show kind of thing going on. So that's what I'm looking at. Also, the display is probably not going to change much. 4.65 inches was the last Nexus, so I'm assuming they're going to keep it something like that. There really is no reason to make it any bigger. The Samsung Galaxy S3 is 4.8 inches, so that seems like a decent size, at least in my opinion. So yeah, that's where we stand with the Nexus 2. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait until they have something said about it. Also, the Nexus 1 did not have a micro SD slot, which was kind of a buzzkill. So I'm assuming they might, most likely, probably, hopefully, will add it in the new Nexus 2. There was also some rumors about a couple different manufacturers were going to make their own version of the Nexus. They said that Sony was going to make one, HTC was going to make one, LG was going to make one, and of course Samsung. There was another one I'm forgetting. You guys could put it in the comments or something. But they said they were all going to have their own version of the Nexus, but the Samsung was going to be called the Nexus 2 or Nexus Premier. Yeah, that's where we stand with that. We'll see what happens in the following weeks, but hopefully it'll be some good news. Next up, this is really exciting. They're saying that there's going to be a Nexus 7 tablet that's going to have 32 gigabytes instead of the 8 and 16 we've already seen. And I feel like the reason they're putting this out is because Google was talking about making a $99 tablet, the most affordable tablet. I'm not talking about those cheap $99 tablets that you could buy from, I don't know, made in China stuff that barely work. The frame rates drop every second. Not that crappy stuff. We're talking about a decent, fully functional $99 tablet. And I'm assuming what they're going to do is when they release the 32 gigabyte, they're going to drop down the price of the 8 gigabyte Nexus 7 that's currently on the market, and that's going to go down to $99. They're still going to have the $200 and $250 tablet, meaning the 60 gig and the 32 gig. And I also feel like they're going to have some sort of upgrade. I saw someone taking apart a Nexus, and in the back, or on the motherboard, they had a little spot for the camera to mount it on there, but they never actually went through with actually putting a camera on there. But it seems like that's the most logical thing they're going to do, is put a camera in the back. There's also a micro SD slot that is also not used in the current Nexus tablets, and I feel like they're going to add a micro SD slot to expand the memory a little bit. So yeah, that's where we stand with the Nexus 7 tablet. There was also rumored a 10-inch tablet that they were going to release. I don't know if Google's going to come out with the Nexus 10 tablet, but if they do, that'd be pretty cool too, to have a bigger tablet. They're probably also going to upgrade the RAM a little bit to 2 gigabytes from the current 1 gigabyte that it's at. At this point in time, I don't see why we should have anything less than 2 gigabytes. Also, there has been a rumor, they're saying with the release of the 32 gigabyte version of the Nexus 7, they're also going to implement Android 4.2. It's still going to be called Jelly Bean. It's just going to be upgraded Jelly Bean. I don't know what's special about it just yet, but hopefully on October 29th when they start announcing devices and such, we'll hear about that as well. But yeah, there you have it, a little bit of Android related news. hopefully we hear some more about all these things in the next couple of weeks, which we probably will. I want to hear some information before the actual showcase is happening. Again, that showcase is October 29th from what I've read, so we'll see what happens. That's only a Samsung showcase, so I don't know if they're going to be talking about the Nexus 7 or the Nexus 10 or whatever that they're thinking. That's a whole different project by Google. This is a Samsung showcase that they're going to be doing. So yeah, maybe I'll do a follow-up video after the showcase. We'll see what happens, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.